how to get ahead of 99% of people starting today. So many people think it's their morning routine or it's their eating habits or how much they work out. Maybe you think it's hard work, like I should be digging ditches or I should be working harder or more hours, I should be grinding more. Well, none of those are the answer on how you are going to actually get ahead of 99% of the people. I'm going to share with you the real secret, because it's not about how you look, your race, your color, your sexuality, none of those things. It's a big secret that most people just do not know, and I'm going to share with you the real truth to how to get ahead of 99% of people. Let's go.
Noelle. Yeah, she can fix that. You gotta get it done, or you need to do it better. Well, she can fix that. Yeah, she can fix that. Investment to get back, trying to get a big stack. She can fix that. Let's fix that.
This is going to be an easy video. It's really only like 4 things that actually put you ahead of most people. And I can tell you, as someone that used to be broke, bankrupt, living in my parents' basement, no money, bad credit, just the worst situation ever. And today I'm a multimillionaire, best-selling author, mentor, speaker, all my kids, mom of 5, and so much more. And I'm going to share with you that the real secret to all of this really has to do with you changing just a few things. And it's not morning routine or even eating habits. So let me tell you what they really are. Okay, so let's get right into it. As I said, you can change your position. You can change your status. You literally can become a part of the 1% and get ahead of 99% of the people. And it's nowhere near as difficult as you think. Most people really just talk about stuff. They never really do it. So it's a lot of different taking action about different things that are focused. And it really is just a few small changes that you need to make in order to get ahead of most people. So I'm going to get right into it, and we're going to get right into the biggest thing. I'm going to go from the hardest to the easiest so that you really feel by the end of this, I can do this. Number 1, don't do what others do. Okay, so this is going to be a simple one, but most of us actually follow the crowd. We actually, as children, we learn how to look and see what other people are doing and copy them. And in many cases, we are just copying very average people. We're not copying the 1%. We're not copying the most successful people, because truly we are not around the most successful people. So we're really just copying our parents, other family members, people in our peer group. And quite frankly, that is not who we should be copying. So quite frankly, you really have to start forging your own path and not listening to people that are that you grew up with and that people that are in your inner circle, unless again you are already wealthy, you grew up with wealthy people and they're telling you things that are going to get you wealthy. But for most of us, we either grew up very poor or we grew up very middle class. That's usually the best we can get. We're in the middle class, but most of us are not, Donald Trump's son or somebody else like that, where we have these wealthy people giving us money, telling us what to do with it, etc., etc. So for most of us, we're going to have to start forging our own path and moving away from the crowd and doing what most people do. If you actually want to get ahead of most people, what you're going to find out is you did something that they did not do. Okay, so most people that are really wealthy, they had this big idea that was like a contrarian type of idea. Like for me, I'm going to just use me as an example, because I was broke, I was bankrupt, I had bad credit, I had no money, I had to move in with my parents. And today I am a multimillionaire with lots of rental properties, lots of successful businesses. And I actually have assets and different things like that in the millions. So I know what it takes to shift. And I'm going to tell you unequivocally, I had very middle class parents. I didn't grow up, in poverty or, in public housing and things like that. But I also had people that said, go to work and stay in the middle. Well, guess what? You're never going to be a multimillionaire if you just go to work and stay in the middle. So for me, it was real estate. I started going to classes, I started going to seminars, and people started telling me in my world that those things were not going to work, that you know what, that's very risky. That's how you lose a lot of money. You already lost money with that, etc., etc. But I went against the crowd. I went against what most people said. I really just did it. I listened to coaches. I became very childlike. People would also compare me to a child and say, oh, you're kind of like a kid. You could just tell you anything. Yes, I believe people that are successful. You know what I mean? If someone is telling me and showing me their stuff, yes, I was believing them. I wasn't skeptical and cynical about what they were saying. I actually was a believer that I could do it too. Not that they were some special person and they had been gifted these gifts from God and I couldn't do what they were doing. No, I knew that if someone else was doing it and they were successful and I could get close to them and they could teach me it, I believe that I could learn it too. But I also had to go against what most people in my life were telling me. Most people in my life were telling me, stay at my job, keep going to school, get another degree, get another certification, suck up to my boss, different things like that. Just average, basic life type advice. And I'm telling you, you should actually go against most people. You actually should be very dumb, very childlike, where you do believe what people are telling you and you do just believe and do it, especially if it's something you believe in. Now, I'm not saying go buy magic beans. Somebody say, oh, these magic beans will grow into a beanstalk and then you'll get money. Yeah, that probably doesn't make sense. But if I'm talking to the successful person, whether they have a security company or they're a successful landscaper or they're a successful model or actress or athlete, I'm going to listen to what they're saying and I'm going to believe them, and I'm not going to believe other people that don't have these same things and just have a very basic life and trying to get me to have a basic life. So as children, we used our imaginations quite a bit, and we weren't always just following the group. We would play games, we would use our imagination. And what I'm telling you, if you want to get ahead of most people, you need to start believing in yourself and going against the grain, going against what most people say. Okay, like if most people say, oh, you're probably not going to make money with that, and you believe that you can. You can. If someone has not done it, they cannot tell you how to do it. That is a big piece of advice. Stop listening to someone that's never done something before telling you you can't do it. That is ridiculous. That is absolutely ridiculous. I even caution you, someone that has done it before that tells you you don't have what it takes. Who are you to tell me what I can do? Now, for the most part, I will say that most successful people, most people that are wealthy, they're actually usually very positive, and they actually do say that these things can be done. They will tell you it can be done, and it's going to be usually your very middle class and poor people in your life that tell you that you can't do things. So again, if you want to be a part of the 99%, you want to just be a regular average Joe, great. Listen to what everybody else is doing. If you want to be a 1%er, start listening to you. Start believing in you and yourself and your ideas and what you can do, because I have seen people make money with things that you would never believe. People selling rocks. I meet people that act in commercials and they only do commercials and they make millions of dollars. You don't have to be in a big movie. I know YouTubers, TikTokers, people that write books, people that have daycares, like anything you can think of, you can make $1 million with. And most of the people that will tell you that you can't have not done it, okay? And if they did it and they weren't successful, I still wouldn't listen to them. I would only listen to someone has done something and they were successful because they know. And again, they're not going to be able to tell you all of the answers. What you're using that person for a lot of times is called proof of concept, proof that this does work. So if someone else, for example, using myself, I know people that have become millionaires in real estate. They were showing me their portfolios. They were showing me how they did it. And there's all these people in my life that have never done it telling me that it can't be done. Well, why would I listen to these people that have never done it versus the people that are successful? And why would I listen to someone that tried it unsuccessfully to think, oh yeah, I'm going to be unsuccessful too, and relate myself to the unsuccessful person that tried it versus the successful person that did it, not tried it, did it. Number 2, bet on yourself. If you actually want to get ahead of most people, you have to bet on you. You should probably start a business that's around what you want to do. If you need help starting a business, call my friends at 𝐁𝐮𝐬𝐢𝐥𝐝 Consulting. There is a link in the description box. I mentioned them before. They will be able to help you start a business. They will be able to help you get business credit built. They can help you get trade lines. They can help you get business funding to help you with your business idea. Literally, it's a free consultation. Just use the link in the description box and they will be able to help you in some way, shape, or form. To work with them does cost money, but this consultation is absolutely free, and you can kind of see where you stand, what some of your skill sets are, what access to money you may have. Like, there is so many things out there to push you forward if you actually start having a business that is around what you want to do versus working for someone else doing something to just pay the bill. So again, call my friends below at 𝐁𝐮𝐬𝐢𝐥𝐝 Consulting, especially if you already have a business. They probably can help you. All right, let's keep going. So like I was saying, betting on yourself is going to be a really big thing, because we all take a gamble in life. Even working a job is a gamble, because at any point they could lay you off, they could fire you, the company could shut down. You don't really have as much control as you think working a job. So it's just as volatile in many cases as having your own business. So why not at some point, have a business doing the thing that you want, especially if you want to be a one percenter. Most one percenters do not work for other people. Now, of course, there are some highly paid CEOs, of insurance companies and automakers and different things like that where you can make millions of dollars. But for most people, it's actually a lot easier to earn $20,000, $30,000 with your own business. It's really not even that difficult to get to the $20,000 a month mark. And it's really easy in most cases to get to $10,000 per month in your business. Again, especially if you call my friends at 𝐁𝐿 Consulting and they help you with your plan and help you build business credit, because then you can get business funding and use that business funding to advertise, market your business, get more inventory, whatever it is that you do, and actually grow your business. But again, it's betting on you. Now, in most cases, what we are afraid of is betting on us is a risk. You know what I mean? But at the same time, who else you going to bet on? Why would you keep betting on other people, buying stocks in other people's companies, investing in other people's business, but never actually investing in you? Something that you could give to your kids, something that you're already pretty good at, something you may even have a job doing, you could start a business doing and make even more money in your own business and own your time, have more freedom, have more control over your income. When I worked for other people, the most I ever made in a year was $225,000. Baby, I have made that in a month in many cases. And in fact, I make millions of dollars per year. So just think about that. If I could manage other people for somebody else's company, well, why can't I manage people in my own company? If I can have meetings and make sure that we're meeting these objectives and these KPIs for somebody else's company, like Bank of America and Wells Fargo and Chase Bank, these banks that I work for, well, guess what? I can do those same things in my business operationally, make sure my business is functioning just as well as I make sure their business is functioned. I did that. I make millions of dollars per year. Again, you probably have skill sets that you are giving to some other business. And I can almost assure you, if someone is paying you a lot of money to do what you do at a job, you will probably make even more money doing it for yourself. Now, is it going to happen immediately? No. But guess what? Then there's no caps on how much money you can make. Again, I had that great high paying job. I told you I've made that in a month. I've made that in a weekend. I'm never going to have those opportunities working for that company to make $200,000 in one weekend. Well, in my own business, I do. Just think about it. Number 3, focus like it's an obsession. If you actually want to get ahead of most people, you really have to get laser focused. And for me, this is where I was falling off. I would dabble in different business things. I would have a job and I would do different things on the side, but I never went all in on one thing. Well, once I went all in on real estate, that is when I saw the growth. That is when I saw the millions. I was never going to see $1 million a year in my business if I kept working for someone else and if I kept dabbling in other businesses and just trying the next thing that came out. In fact, I wrote a book called Pick a Horse, The Power to Choose You. You can get this book absolutely free. Go to noellerandall.com/PAH. You can get this book for free. You just cover the shipping. But this book here is an absolute bestseller and people are loving it because it helps you focus in. And the money, the true wealth is in that focus. When you just shut everything else out, when you stop doing this side hustle and this side hustle and this thing, and you just do this one thing, and that's all you do, and you just do it well until you get it to $1 million, then you can add in complementary businesses. So before I could ever start coaching in real estate, I need to make $1 million with my real estate portfolio. Then I can add in coaching. Then before adding in books, well, I can now, once I get coaching done, then I can add in books. Oh, now that I got books going, now I can add in speaking events. Oh, now that I add in speaking events, I can have events. So it grows, and you will be able to multiply and make tons of money, but you have to focus in on one thing. If you're all over the place, if you're constantly switching things, you're never going to get to that finish line. And in fact, that is why most people are not successful. Most people do not get hyper-focused, super focused on one thing. And for many of us, we don't know what that thing is. Well, that is why I have this resource here, Pick a Horse. It will help you pick the horse that is for you. Again, noellerandall.com/PAH for Pick a Horse. You get this book for free. We'll ship it to you and you just cover the shipping, and it will help you decide what is your thing. What is the thing that you're really going to focus on so that you can get ahead of 99% of the people and get out of the rat race? How can you get to your millions? It's going to be a focus. And then once you focus in, then that's when you can get investors, you can get funding, you can get all of these different things. But if you keep doing something new each week, you're never going to be able to get money. You're never going to be able to get investors. You're not going to be able to get that traction and that momentum that's required to really snowball and start turning from 5 figures to 6 figures, from 6 figures to 7, from 7 to 8. That's how that works. It grows and it grows. But if you keep switching, It's like a seed. If you plant a corn seed and you're waiting for a corn stalk, but you 2 days later go dig up the seed, you're never going to get the corn stalk. You have to let the seed be planted, and you have to nurture and grow the seed. You have to water it. You have to give it sunlight. That's the focus. That's you working on it each day. That's you shutting everybody out and saying, this is what I'm doing, and going for it. If you're having trouble and you need a little help, get the book, noellerandall.com/PAH. Again, absolutely free. We cover the shipping. All right, let me give you the last one, because to me, this is the easiest. Last but not least, take a big risk. And this is going to be the hardest for so many people, especially for me as a mom. I have kids. Like I said, when I moved into my parents' basement in 2009, I actually was pregnant with my third kid. And the thing that I was always afraid of that was holding me back was taking a big risk. I just wanted to take a little risk. I just wanted to risk it a little bit. I would go see, but I wouldn't really take a big risk. Well, if you are wanting to be a 1%er, you want to be a millionaire, a multimillionaire, you're going to have to take a big risk. You're going to have to quit your job. You're going to have to move to a new city. You're going to have to maybe get married or get divorced. You may decide not to have kids. It's going to be this major risk thing that you do, like literally this really major thing. So like when I say I lost everything, I didn't know what I was doing. I had to move from Atlanta to my parents' basement in Connecticut. Well, that was a big risk, because I did have to give up the house. I had to let it go into foreclosure. I had to go back to school like my parents said. But one of the bigger risks I took was when I was broke, bankrupt with bad credit, I literally got a coach. My parents didn't know, my husband, nobody knew that I got a real estate coach. I literally had to cancel one of my classes at the University of Connecticut to help me come up with the down payment. I did not have all of the money that my coach wanted. At the time, my coach was $20,000, okay? But again, I made more than $20,000 in that same year doing what he taught me. So it was a big risk, but it came out with a big reward. I then got another mentor that taught me Facebook ads, and that's how I was able to grow my social media. I paid that guy like $7,500. Guess what? Like in a month, I had made $7,500. I had another coach. I paid her $55,000. A year after doing that, I had made over $500,000 with speaking on stages and writing books and different things like that. So when I get a coach, that was a big risk. People thought I was so crazy. In fact, like I said, I didn't even tell people. Like I literally would get coaches and I wouldn't even tell people. I would try to just figure it out on my own, because I didn't want to hear that negativity. I wasn't strong enough yet. I am now. You could tell me whatever you want to. I don't care what you think about what I'm doing. That's a part of getting ahead of the 99%. You don't care about what other people think. You take a big risk. You believe in yourself, and you know that you're not going to die. Like seriously, you have to realize, like, yeah, I'm going to take a big risk. Maybe I'm going to flip a house, or I'm going to flip a car, or I'm going to quit my job. You're not going to die. Like most people are just so afraid of risk and taking a big risk, acting like they're going to die if it doesn't work out. And if you actually want to be a 1%er, yeah, sometimes it's not going to work out. I literally have lost money in investments. I've lost money in deals. I've had coaches that didn't work out. I've had employees that didn't work out. I've had business partners that didn't work out. I've had marriages and relationships that didn't work out. That doesn't mean it's not possible. That doesn't mean it's not for me. You really have to start realizing that you just have one life. You're not going to get to come here again, and you're not going to safely tiptoe your way to death. So start living, start taking a big risk and risking on you, not just your kids. I'll see moms do that. Oh, my son, he wants to go to the NFL, and they'll sacrifice and do all these things for somebody else, but they would never do that for themselves. Well, why? Why put all that pressure on your kid to be successful when you have some dream, some gift that you could do? Now, again, not judging what people do with their kids. I surely am not writing a book or telling anybody what to do. I am not a perfect parent, but at the same time, I do realize that when I achieved my dreams and I started going for my goals, I made my kids really, really proud. And as much as I was scared to do a lot of things and using my kids as a reason why I didn't do things, they are the reason that I'm successful. And I'm so happy that they were able to witness me failing at stuff and then me being successful at things. It has made my kids so much stronger. That I think that was probably the best parenting thing I ever did, because I have made tons of mistakes parenting, but I think them watching me go through things, struggle, get back up, do it again. And then one day, like, wow, look, we have a much bigger house. We have a better car. Wait, we don't have to use coupons. And all of the things that they've been able to see in the evolution they've been able to see in their life was from me taking a big risk. And I strongly suggest you do not use your spouse as some excuse up to why you can't take a big risk and be what you want to be. Never use your kids. Like, that is the worst thing that I hear. I have 7 kids, 5 that I gave birth to and 2 that came, when I I got married. So I don't want to hear this about I have kids and that's why I can't do it. That should be the reason why you do it. So again, if you want to get ahead of the 99%, I just gave you 4 easy things that you can do. And the easiest one is going to be taking a big risk and betting on yourself, because you really can do it. And many people just think that it's just about that, but it could even just be moving to a new city, a new state, a new country, quitting a job that you do get paid a lot of money for and then going to a cheaper job just because it has flexibility and you can work your business. Like all kind of stories I could tell you of so many millionaires and billionaires that I have met now, that I truly can tell you it doesn't have anything to do with your race, your sex, your gender, your sexuality, where you were born. None of those things matter. It's your mindset and your willingness to believe in yourself. That's what's going to set you apart from 99%, and you can start today. All right? Today. All right, so if you want help with getting a business, maybe you have a business, maybe you need some business funding, do not hesitate to use the link below to 𝐁𝐮𝐬𝐢𝐥𝐝 Consulting. I want you to reach out to them. It's a free consultation. They can help you build business credit. They can help you get trade lines. They can help you get business funding. They can even help you with your business plan and give you some coaching as to what you can do with just your business. 𝐁𝐮𝐬𝐢𝐥𝐝 has been a friend of mine for probably over a decade now. He has an amazing team. They're really great at business credit and business funding. So I strongly suggest, if you are serious about getting ahead of the 99%, start with 𝐁𝐮𝐬𝐢𝐥𝐝 Consulting. Use that link. It's absolutely free. And one last thing, make sure you subscribe to this channel, because I'm going to be giving you lots of great information as I am growing. We are going to 1 million subscribers, and I'm going to make sure I share everything with you that I'm finding out from very wealthy people, so that you know exactly what to do to get wealthy too. Why? Because I want to make sure that you have all of the knowledge, all of the resources, and all of the tools that you need to be successful. This is Noelle. To your success.